Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I want to show you how I created this using geometry nodes. This is actually a sea cucumber. I was actually trying to make like a sea urchin, like this photo by George Pop. It's beautiful, it's colorful, it's almost like an artwork by Aboriginal art in Australia. Yeah, the sea urchin is actually, if you study the pattern and the topology, and you can actually recreate it using geometry nodes. This is actually like the dead sea urchin. The actual sea urchin is actually looking like this, like a spiky, and then its spike is moving. Yeah, it will actually snap into your fingers or feet sometimes. But anyway, sea urchin. There is also sea cucumber, which is looking a little bit like this. You can find this near the ocean. You definitely need to see one yourself at some point. But anyway, sea urchin, sea cucumber, yeah, it's a similar method that you can create using geometry nodes. So how I did this, I started with a curve and I resample it a couple of times. This is actually very similar. I've done this a couple of times, I think, with a cactus. I tried to make this in the past, but I think it's a lot easier now with geometry nodes. So yeah, start with a curve and then resample it. This will change the topology. And then I set the position. I think I randomize. I offset it using noise at some point. I don't know why. Maybe just to give it like a variations along the path. And then I did the reverse on the curve, but that's not important. Setting the curve radius, however, here, this is important. Depending how fat you want this sea cucumber to be, you can set it up using spline parameter, vector, and then this curve. And it's just a multiplier, and then you just simply love like a star. Okay, this is important. Depending on how much detail you want to add into this sea cucumber. Yeah, just give it 12 and you play around with the radius, because this will actually control the shapes and topology. You can fill the cap. I think I'm just gonna fill the cap, and then because this is also subdivided, I'm using triangulate and dual mesh just to get an interesting looking topology, but you can actually skip that, whichever you like. Here I have extrude mesh node twice. The first one, it's doing extrusion, and then there's a scale. This is doing the inset. This one is actually pushing it in. You can push it out. So, but this is definitely something you need to play around with. And then I set the materials, set shade smooth. If you really take a look closer, there's actually a small one. Okay, this is funny. What is this? All right, this guy is actually kind of like a bake version of this guy. You need to bake it. At the moment, you cannot actually do this. This is just an anomaly. Somehow the baby one came out. This one, if you bake this and then you create an armature like with a spline IK, you can actually control this baby cucumber. Okay, so let's take a look. This guy, armature. All right, yeah, the armature. If I select the armature and go to the pose mode, there's a spline IK is working, and the spline IK is using, the target is this alpha curve. You need to have this in order to do this kind of animations. You have seen me doing this in the past, few hundred videos ago. So this alpha object is actually a Sverchok nodes. Geometry nodes actually cannot do this at the moment. Okay, but this is just like something from the future. I'm using Procedural Nodes. This is just a simple lines. I can control the lines. I think the length of the lines is controllable. Okay. Yeah, but anyway, there's a line that's being modified with a vector noise, and it's making this sea cucumber baby kind of animating. The time is sliding, is offsetting the line, and the line goes into the vector noise, and then vector noise, and then this polyline viewer turning it back into a curve object. And we can control the noise strength, I think. Yeah, smaller value is better. Anyway, it's just swimming like inside the noise field of some sort. This is not possible with geometry nodes at the moment, because geometry nodes is just generating the geometry, and then you cannot actually have armature controlling geometry at the moment. I think you should be able to do that in the future of Blender. So geometry nodes and then armature, and then the armature itself is, which is currently controlled by a curve. You cannot do that with a curve at the moment. Okay, with a curve and geometry nodes, it's not gonna work. But with Sverchok, you can kind of do that. So I might try. So it's cool because the spline IK is controlling the bones, and the bone is controlling the mesh, and we hopefully be able to see that in the future of Blender. Anyway, Sverchok add-on is really cool. I've been using it for a few years, and yeah, I think this is hopefully will make it into geometry nodes. So yeah, that's pretty much my sea cucumber and sea urchin explorations. Definitely, if you play a bit more with the shader, you can create something like this using geometry nodes. It's really beautiful. It's gonna take some time to recreate this. It's just amazing looking design. Sea urchin. Okay, Sea urchin also, it's moving and stuff. I think I've many years studying procedural and nodes. I think I'm really creating a sea urchin and sea cucumber in the end. Yeah, it's very interesting. Alright, so thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.